Hi, I'm Diana Porter, a founder and lead programmer for Access Film Fest, happening November 7th and 8th at Framingham Village Hall and at FSU. And today I have with me Lisa Olivieri.
Olivieri.
Oh, I knew I was going to get it wrong.
I'm sorry. Take two.
Olivieri. And I have with me Lisa Olivieri, the creator of Recovery City, an amazing documentary that I always tell everybody, it makes me laugh, it makes me cry. Mm-hmm. It is one of those documentaries that just hits on every level. Mm-hmm. It gives you hope and it makes you want to go out and do good in the world all at the same time. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with me today.
Well, thank you for having me. And we are super excited to be at the festival.
Yes,
yeah, so
and
great.
In addition to screening at our festival, you are also the host of our student film block.
I am the host. I love the student film block because being a video production teacher at Natick High School, I like to see what other kids are doing, right? Just because I kind of don't really have a sense of what other students do, so it's it's also a spy mission for me.
And it's exciting seeing I always see trends in the films that are coming in and seeing the trends on what the kids are doing these days. It's always very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me about your film, Recovery City.
So Recovery City is my second documentary film, and I started thinking about it in 2018, started filming in 2019, and was hearing a lot about the opioid crisis. So I wanted to do something with that, but I was still very broad, maybe somebody who's still struggling, maybe somebody who's trying to get their kids back. What I wanted was to see what it takes to come out of addiction. So I wasn't necessarily looking to film an intervention type of thing, those shows when they're really down and out and exploited. I didn't want to do that. But I ended up finding 4 women who are amazing, and they're from Worcester, and I am not. So I didn't know when I was contacting each of them, I just sort of kept meeting people, that they all knew each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know until I started filming and we would be out somewhere. So I kind of started with Christine, the main subject of the film. And then I met Rebecca. It was sort of, oh, you need to talk to Rebecca. She's, a huge advocate for recovery. She knows everybody. And that led to her and Janice kind of were Cagney and Lacey team. And I met Bridget. And I met Bridget because I was supposed to meet her boss at Everyday Miracles and he forgot.
Oh.
So I was sitting there waiting and she said, do you want to sit in on our women's space meeting? And I said, yeah, sure. And I was my mind was blown about the women just supporting each other and coming together. And the stuff they were talking about was really hard and very intimate, and reliving all that for them, I thought was very courageous. So I asked if I could film at another time and they graciously said yes, which, what a gift.
Yeah.
To see those intimate moments of people talking about what led them to their addiction. And, it was really, I am forever grateful for that.
And you really do a wonderful job of capturing different aspects of the journey of recovery and the battles that lie within it. Are there any real standout, when you were filming, something that came up that you're oh, I have to include this?
Oh God, probably that I would. Probably. I'm trying to think.
That's fair.
The film was 2 hours and it had to be cut down, but I'm trying to think of things that I cut that I miss. What I really wanted to include, what was very important which was hard to show. So maybe I can creatively talk about how I did this. So when Christine had, she had to go to court, she had to meet with her social worker, she had to do that at DCF. She had to go to AA twice a week. All the things she had to do were things that I couldn't film. So I had to creatively come up, like when you see that list from her action plan that kind of like flies into the frame, and then like the hammer of like when she's working, when she's doing that press to make the coasters and things like that. Like that was the only way I could show it, because I wanted to feel, the audience to feel that like feeling of having a boot on your neck when you just have so much to do and you're up against it and you don't know how you're going to get it done. And that was the way that we, all of us, you know, everybody who worked on the film creatively came up with it. So, you know, everything in there is stuff that I do want there. I wish I could have had access to Christine and her social worker, but DCF was, you know, it was pretty non-compliant about it. So
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of challenges when you're making a documentary, getting access to different things. And if I'm remembering correctly, part of your film is shot in Framingham, in downtown, outside of our prison, isn't it? How was it getting permissions? Was that a...
Oh, I didn't ask for any permission and got escorted off. Yeah, so I wanted to show Bridget at the prison. And that was the first time she had been back there since she had been in there. So it was a long time. So we were filming, and she was answering the question. She's like, and there's someone coming right up behind you. And I was just like, oh, hi. Am I not supposed to be here? You know.
Yeah.
Like what's the thing? Ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Don't ask for permission. Right. And he said, oh, and he was actually very nice. And he's like, no, you just can't really be on this side, but you can be on that side. And
that sounds
it was very reasonable. It was very reasonable. But yeah, that was in Framingham. We were we would love to have it shown there because Rebecca and Bridget were both there. And I think maybe that would be a way to give women some hope, like people who were actually there and who have rebuilt their lives. But haven't figured that part out yet.
I hope that happens.
So do I.
Yeah. I feel like your film, it's informative for anyone, because you really do, it's a very honest look at these women's lives, and you make everything very digestible, but you don't shy away from showing the truth and the difficulty that lies within.
It is difficult. And one of the things I did want to show is that, unlike Intervention, when I would watch that, I would be so excited when the person finally decided to get help. And then when they came back and they were all shiny and new and ready to take on their lives, that would be the end. But that's the beginning. Because I would think, well, they can't live in the world, or they couldn't live in the world as a sober person. I use sober like loosely because there's many pathways and people are on medicated assistance. But, or you can't, they couldn't live in recovery. There was something that kept compelling them to, whatever unresolved, right, to drink. So how are they going to all of a sudden be alert and present? And that's very raw. And I'm not in recovery, but that's a very raw feeling. Yeah. Like a raw nerve, going out and doing all the things you're expected to do without any, drugs or alcohol. So I'm interested in seeing how one does that. And, I love a comeback story.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So, that was challenging for me, but not even challenging, but that was one of the things I wanted to capture. Challenging to capture, not challenging for them to stay in recovery, but how am I going to show this?
Yeah.
So.
And your film has screened all over the country now, right?
Yeah.
What were some of the exciting highlights of this festival circuit for you? Yeah,
well, I can tell you that the festival, like winning the audience award at the Provincetown Film Festival, I mean, that festival's been around for 27 years, or 28, 29, like a while. Yeah. And this is only my second film, and there were a lot of like well-known filmmakers at that fest that year. So to win the audience award, I
That's very meaningful. And
Check.
you deserve it.
Thank you.
I love
but
your film.
I really didn't, I never think about winning.
No.
Like, I don't even care.
That's not why you make a movie.
No, but I just but getting in, like, I'm always excited. Like, I got in, like, that's enough for me. But then to win that, and then I won the audience award at Globe Docs last year.
That's huge.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Like, and I realize it will probably never happen to me again, and I'm cool with that. You know, like, I'm good.
Oh, I think your next film might win.
Well,
so. We'll see when it's made,
who knows?
But I believe in you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But that's been fun. And then there was a group in Portland, Oregon that sent us, Christina and I went for a week and did 5 screenings. Wow. And they put us up, like, our first hotel was on the beach in Newport.
Ooh.
Oh, it was really nice. And we didn't have to be anywhere till like 6:30, 6, sometimes 7. So we had all day to kind of just tool around.
Very nice.
Oh, it was really nice. It was really nice.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have deluxe accommodations for you here in Framingham, but
that's okay.
You are bringing some of the women featured in the film with you to the festival, right?
Yes, I'm bringing all 4.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yep, all 4
So
are coming.
they'll be there to talk more and answer questions.
Yeah, definitely. And they have all the info. Like, I have the technical info about the filmmaking, but they have all the info about how to find recovery, what keeps one going, what do you do when you're overwhelmed and feeling like you need help, how to reach out for help, how to combat the stigma, because the stigma is, you know, obviously I know people are stigmatized in marginalized communities, but the things that I heard from the women, and then just being in the community filming, you know, people would come up and talk to me and tell me stories. And it's awful. Like, you know, Rebecca, who overdosed and died, you know, she says in the film, I overdosed and died on the train and they revived me. When she died, she wet her pants. And when she went into the ICU, nobody changed her. Oh. She was in them for like a couple of days. And when she asked for, you know, when they discharged her, do you have any like clothing or anything? They were like, no, we don't have anything. But I'm sure if she had peed her pants from having a heart attack, it would have been a very different story.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the stuff that, you know it, but to see it and hear it from people who it's happened to is, it's sort of frightening.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's a lot of people who are struggling. And if you already are up against struggling with addiction, now you have to be up against the stigma, you know, that makes people not want to get help, right? Or think they can do it on their own when they might not be able to. And, you know, you don't want anyone to know, and that's too bad. It's so that we talk a lot about stigma and about trying to remove it, and how that works.
Yeah, and your film, it's an important film. It's an educational film, but it doesn't feel heavy.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like preachy at all.
Yeah. Like didactic type of thing.
You fall in love with those.
Use of the word didactic. We might have to do that one again.
But I remember feeling so connected to all 4 of the women the first time I watched it, and just really cheering them on, and it's just an absolutely exciting film. So thank you so much for bringing it to Access Film Fest.
Well, thank you for having us. We are so excited to be here. Yeah, we're very excited. No, it's going to be good.
Okay. And do you have another film that you're working on?
Well, I have some ideas that are kind of floating around, but they're not like fully formed. So I think it'll be a short, because I need to do something, but I don't want to do something so grand that it's going to take me, 5 years.
Yeah, that's a big commitment.
It's a big commitment. Yes. And I kind of just want to do something on maybe just a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Is there some place that folks can follow up about Recovery City, find out more?
Yeah, lisaolivieri.com. is my website. And then on Facebook, it's Recovery City, directed by Lisa Olivieri. And then on Instagram, it's just Lisa Olivieri. I just do my personal. I can't be managing all these sites. I put everything into one. So there, yeah.
I think that your film it's educational, but it's never preachy. It's so entertaining. And I feel like I absolutely fell in love with the four women that it is based on. Do you feel like that's how it's been received?
Totally. I mean, people really connect with them, and then usually when we're done with our Q&A, we kind of hang around, and like people flock to them and just want to hug them. Or when they walk in after the film is shown, they're like, "Oh, you're here! Oh, it's you! Oh my God!" And it's sort of like this celebrity reception. And then they want to speak to them about, sometimes people want to have a personal question one-on-one, and we always kind of hang out a little bit because sometimes people don't like to ask questions in front of people. But I think one of the things that we've been seeing is that, somebody will say, "My daughter's struggling, someone in my family, do you have any type of advice or anywhere I could turn?" And that's why we do a lot of community screenings, and to have the community here in Framingham come to see this, everybody knows somebody who's struggling or has struggled.
Yeah.
And it's not a film about addiction, because people don't need to learn how to get high. They can figure that out themselves. People need to learn how to get well. And I think these women are like the shining examples of how to get well. And I think that can be beneficial for this community.
Definitely, yes. And I feel like it's important to bring it back to Framingham. And why are you excited for bringing it to Framingham?
Well, I'm excited because, every community, has their stuff, right? And this could possibly give somebody hope who's struggling. It could help somebody who has a family member who's struggling. We talk a lot about harm reduction and explain what that is and what that looks like. And that can kind of remove people's biases about that, right? Because there's a lot of controversy about harm reduction because some people find it enabling, right? And so, if we can twist people's minds a little bit and just say, this is another way to look at it. Because sometimes people are, well, harm reduction's enabling. Well, if your child was overdosing, would you want someone to Narcan them? Or would you want us to say we didn't because we didn't want to enable him? I'm sure every person would say, please Narcan my family member.
Yeah.
Right? So we try to just have another way to look at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that these are human beings.
They're human beings.
Yes.
It's somebody's somebody. So they might have not made your choices, but it's not.
And I think it's an important watch for everyone in this day and age.
Yeah.
Even people who may not feel like their lives have been touched personally, you never know what the future holds.
You really don't. And what it can teach you, which we do talk about a lot, is compassionate care. Because it's definitely informed my teaching. It's made me a little bit more patient with students, because sometimes I teach high school, so I have that 14 to 17-year-old range, and sometimes, they're a lot. Sometimes I need to remember that, I don't have to say, why isn't your homework done? Why? Isn't it due today? I can be like, what can we do to get that homework done? Which before the film really wasn't my style. So, but it can spill over. Learning that compassionate care can spill over into other areas of your life.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
When I started this, I wasn't, I didn't even know what compassionate care was. I mean, I knew what it meant, but I hadn't heard it in communities that you should be using compassionate care. So that's the one thing that's great about documentaries. Like, you learn a lot about what you don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can see Recovery City at noon at Village Hall as part of Access Film Festival.